You've been lied to your entire life. The world isn't fair. It's not governed by logic or morality. It's governed by power. The rules you've been told to play by, the ones you believe will lead to success and happiness, aren't the ones that truly control the game. And most people, they never see it coming. They live their lives thinking that fairness is how the world works, that if you play by the rules, things will be okay. But it's all an illusion. A carefully constructed lie designed to keep you from seeing the truth. Power isn't earned through kindness or loyalty. It's taken. It's manipulated. And it's controlled by those who know how to play the game. You were taught that if you were a good person, if you worked hard, stayed loyal, and kept your morals intact, you'd succeed. That's what your father told you, what your teachers drilled into you. The idea that good things come to good people. But I'm here to tell you that's not how the world works. Not even close. It's a hard pill to swallow. But the world is not governed by reason. It's driven by emotions, fear, desire, greed, and the constant thirst for power. People don't make decisions based on logic, but on how things feel, how they look. It's about what gets them ahead. And those who understand this can use it to their advantage every single time. So why didn't they teach you this? Why didn't your father or your teachers prepare you for this reality? Because they didn't know. They too were living in a dream of fantasy where hard work, loyalty, and doing the right thing would win the day. But that's not the world we live in. The truth is, the people who truly understand how the game is played, the kings, the generals, the CEOs, the leaders, have been playing a different game. They don't follow the same rules. They know that in order to succeed, you have to control emotions, control narratives, and manipulate the people around you. They've been using these principles to shape the world for centuries. 500 years ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli saw this truth. He didn't write theoretical ideas about a perfect world. No, he wrote a manual on how to navigate the darker, real-world mechanics of power. He wrote about the manipulation of others, how to control them, how to make them do what you want. And the funny part, the most powerful people in history have been following Machiavelli's advice. In secret, for centuries. His book The Prince was so dangerous that the Catholic Church banned it. Why? Because Machiavelli wasn't talking about morality. He wasn't talking about right and wrong. He was talking about control. And the people in charge didn't want anyone else learning how to wield that kind of power. But here's where it gets even worse. These lessons are just as relevant today. The world still works the same way. The rich and powerful still use these tactics. They still manipulate emotions, create illusions, and control narratives. And you've been playing by the rules. You've been told to work hard and play fair, but those rules, they don't apply here. The game is different than you've been led to believe. And once you understand how it really works, you'll never look at the world the same way again. So, let me show you how it works. Let's start with one of the most fundamental and dangerous truths. Humans are not rational beings. We don't make decisions based on logic. We make decisions based on emotions. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll begin to understand how to take control of the game. Now that you've realized the truth, that the world isn't run by fairness or reason, but by power and manipulation, let's take the next step. Humans are not rational. We like to think we make decisions based on logic, that we weigh the pros and cons, calculate the risks, and then choose what's best for us. But that's not how it works, not even close. People are emotional creatures, and those emotions, They drive everything. They control us. Fear, desire, status, and comfort are what guide our decisions. We act based on how something feels, not on what's logically right or wrong. This isn't some New Age theory. It's been true for centuries. Machiavelli knew this, and he used it to manipulate and control. He understood that when you appeal to people's emotions, you bypass their logic, and you can make them do whatever you want. Think about it. Why do people buy things they don't need? Why do they follow leaders who don't have their best interests at heart? It's not because of logic. It's because of feelings. Let me give you a few examples. Take politics, for instance. Politicians don't win because of facts or policies. They win because they make you feel something. They ignite fear, anger, or hope. They manipulate emotions to get votes. Remember how every election cycle is filled with ads that make you scared of the other side, or full of promises that tug at your heartstrings. The focus isn't on data or rational debate, it's on stirring the pot of emotion. Now, let's take a personal example. Have you ever tried to persuade someone with facts? To show them the logical path? To explain why they should do what you believe is right? How often does that work? Probably not often at all. People don't make decisions based on logic, they make decisions based on how they feel about something. They follow their desires, fears, and feelings, not some neatly laid out argument of facts. This is why you fail to influence people, why your advice gets ignored, why your logical arguments fall flat. It's because facts don't move people. Emotions do. When you want to change someone's mind or get them to follow you, you can't just throw facts at them. You need to make them feel something. That's where the power is. Think about the great manipulators in history. Hitler didn't rise to power by giving people statistics. He gave speeches that stirred anger and fear. He made people feel something deep within them, and that's what made them follow him. Corporations don't sell products by showing you chemical formulas. They sell happiness in a bottle. They sell you the feeling of fulfillment. Religions don't spread by debating philosophy. They spread by making you feel like you're part of something larger than yourself, by making you feel both fear and hope. So, here's your first lesson. Stop trying to change people's minds with facts. Start shaping their emotions. Want someone to follow you? Make them feel like they're part of something important. Want to influence a partner? Don't argue about logic. Make them feel the pain of losing you or the joy of keeping you. Want to dominate in business? Forget the data. Craft a story that makes your audience feel like you're the inevitable winner. The man who argues with facts is a teacher. The man who manipulates emotions is a king. And once you understand this, you'll see through everyone around you. You'll see their masks, the politician's smile, the influencer's brand, the co-worker's excuses. Beneath every action is an emotion, a weakness, a hunger. And once you see that, you can pull the strings. But this is just the beginning. The deeper you dive into this world, the more you'll understand that loyalty itself is a liar story we've been told to keep us in line. And that's where we're going next. Because if we're not rational, and if loyalty doesn't exist, then what does keep us in the game? What really drives us? Let's move forward, and we'll find out together. If you've been following along, you're beginning to understand how the world really works, how people aren't driven by reason, but by emotions, desires, and fears. But here's the next hard truth you need to face. Loyalty is an illusion. You've been taught that loyalty is one of the highest virtues. Your parents, your teachers, and society have all told you to be loyal to stand by your friends, your family, your work, and your country. Loyalty, they say, is the glue that holds everything together. But what if I told you that loyalty, in the way it's been sold to you, doesn't exist? At least, not the way you think it does. Loyalty is not a sacred bond. It's not an unconditional force that binds people together. Loyalty is simply a tool used by those in power to manipulate the weak. The truth is, loyalty only exists as long as it serves someone's interest. The moment it no longer does, it disappears. The people you thought would stand by you in tough times will abandon you when it's no longer beneficial to them. It's harsh, but it's real. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you been loyal to someone, only to be left behind when things got tough? A friend, a lover, a colleague when the going got hard. How many of them stuck around out of loyalty? More often than not, those you trusted with your loyalty are the ones who betrayed you first. Because loyalty without reciprocity isn't loyalty at all. It's exploitation. Let me give you an example. Think about corporations. They tell you they value loyalty. They reward the team players and the ones who stay with the company for years. But the moment the company's bottom line is at risk, guess what happens? Loyalty is thrown out the window. People are fired, cut loose, left behind. It's not about loyalty. It's about what benefits them in the moment. Once the loyalty no longer serves their interests, they won't hesitate to discard it. And this is the core of Machiavelli's insight. The powerful don't build their lives on loyalty, they build them on strategic loyalty. They give their loyalty only to those who can return it, only to those who prove they're worth the investment. And when that loyalty is broken or no longer serves them, they withdraw it without hesitation, without sentiment. But here's the thing, you can't live your life like this, constantly investing in relationships that don't serve you. You need to take a different approach to loyalty. You need to be loyal, yes, but loyal on your terms. You need to control it, not be at the mercy of it. Machiavelli wasn't a fool. He knew that loyalty without power is dangerous. If you're the one constantly giving loyalty to others, hoping they'll return it, you're only making yourself vulnerable. You're weakening yourself. You're giving others the power to manipulate you, and they'll use it to control you. The moment you withdraw your loyalty and demand it to be earned, not expected, that's when you start to change the game. So, here's your lesson. Stop giving loyalty freely. Start testing it. Watch how people act when they know they're not guaranteed your support. See who sticks around when the rewards dry up, and see who leaves the moment it stops serving them. You'll find that loyalty, like everything else, is just a contract. And contracts, as Machiavelli teaches us, are meant to be negotiated. In the next chapter, we'll tackle another brutal truth. Reputation is your most valuable asset. But unlike loyalty, reputation isn't built on sentiment. It's built on control. Control over your image, your perception, and your narrative. And once you master that, you'll never again be at the mercy of anyone else's loyalty, or lack thereof. Now that you've realized loyalty is just a tool, and not the sacred bond you've been led to believe, let's talk about something that's even more powerful: reputation. Your reputation is the most important asset you have. It's more valuable than your skills, your education, or even your friends. The truth is, it's not who you are that matters. It's how others perceive you. In a world built on power, control, and manipulation, perception is everything. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He knew that reputation isn't just a reflection of your character, it's the shield that protects you from betrayal, and the sword that strikes down your enemies. In his eyes, reputation is like armor. It guards you, makes you untouchable, and prevents anyone from daring to challenge you. Think about the most powerful people you know, the ones who seem untouchable, who can make others follow them without question. Do you think they got there by being good people? By having honest intentions? Of course not. They got there because they knew how to control the way others saw them. They mastered the art of shaping their own image and using it to manipulate others. Take a moment and think about someone who commands respect without even saying a word. Maybe it's a CEO, a political leader, or even a well-known celebrity. They don't need to constantly remind people of their accomplishments. Their reputation precedes them. They've crafted an image so powerful that it shapes how everyone perceives their actions and decisions. Their reputation becomes their power. And that's exactly what you need to understand. The people who truly succeed in this world aren't necessarily the most skilled or the most hard-working. They're the ones who know how to control their reputation. They understand that it's not about being authentic or true to yourself. It's about curating a version of yourself that serves your interests. Authenticity is a luxury for the weak. Power, on the other hand, is built on perception. Let's break this down. If you're seen as weak, people will exploit you. They'll take advantage of your kindness, your loyalty, your willingness to please. But if you build a reputation for strength, for being ruthless when necessary, for never backing down, people will hesitate. They'll think twice before crossing you. Your reputation will be the wall they can't breach. Machiavelli advised rulers to cultivate a reputation of fear. Why? Because fear keeps people in line. Fear prevents betrayal. People may love you, but love is fragile. Love is conditional. It can turn to hate at the slightest provocation. Fear, however, keeps them cautious, keeps them obedient. This isn't about being cruel for the sake of cruelty. It's about knowing that your reputation, the fear and respect it commands, is the key to your survival. This doesn't mean you need to be feared by everyone, but it does mean that you must control the narrative surrounding you. You must ensure that people view you as strong, as someone who doesn't back down and who won't tolerate disrespect. Whether in business, in relationships, or in personal interactions, your reputation should be the armor that shields you from being undermined or betrayed. Here's your lesson. Start building your reputation now. Do not let others define it for you. Be strategic about how you present yourself. Cultivate strength, authority, and power. Make sure that when people think of you, they think of someone who cannot be ignored. Because when your reputation is solid, no one will dare to challenge you. And when your reputation is untouchable, you'll be in control. Next, we move on to something even more critical: deception. If reputation is armor, deception is the weapon. And once you learn to wield both, you will become an unstoppable force. Now that you understand the value of reputation and how it serves as your armor, it's time to discuss something even more powerful than your image: deception. If reputation is the shield that protects you, deception is the sword that cuts through your enemies, manipulates your allies, and ensures your survival in a world that thrives on power struggles. Machiavelli didn't mince words when he said that deception is a necessary tool for any leader or person in power. It's not just a trick, it's survival. In the world of power, truth is irrelevant. What matters is the narrative you control, the story you weave, and the illusions you create. The most successful people in history weren't necessarily the most honest. They were the best at creating the illusion of truth. Let me ask you something. How many times have you been deceived? Maybe it was by a politician who promised one thing and delivered another, or a business partner who said they had your back, but when it came time to deliver, they turned their back on you. Deception isn't just about lying, it's about shaping the reality around you to fit your goals. Even if it means bending the truth, hiding your true intentions, or withholding critical information. Machiavelli teaches us that deception is an art. The key isn't to lie recklessly or betray others at every turn. No, the art of deception is controlled. It's about knowing when to reveal just enough of the truth to get what you want, and when to hide your true intentions to protect yourself and your position. Think of the great manipulations in history. Whether it's a political figure leading their people into a war, or a CEO controlling the narrative around their company's performance, it's never about the facts. It's about creating a perception that suits the agenda, and that's where deception comes in. Let's take a simple example. Think about the way corporations sell products. They don't just sell a product, they sell a story. They make you feel that their product will change your life, improve your happiness, or fulfill your desires. They create a perception, and you buy into it, not because of the product's raw data or technical specifications, but because of the emotional story they've built around it. It's a deception, but it's a strategic one, and it works. The same principle applies to your life. If you want to succeed, you need to understand how to create a story, one that fits the narrative you want to project, one that shapes how others see you. Whether you're in business, politics, or relationships, this is how power works. People don't trust you because of your honesty. They trust you because of the story you tell. And if you can manipulate that story to your advantage, you control the room. But don't get it twisted. Deception is not about being malicious. It's about being smart. Machiavelli advised that you should be like the fox, able to recognize traps and avoid them, but also like the lion, strong enough to deal with threats when they arise. Your ability to deceive isn't just about creating illusions for others. It's about understanding the game and playing it on your terms. It's about positioning yourself in a way that ensures your dominance, while keeping others in the dark about your true intentions. So, here's your lesson. Learn how to deceive strategically. Learn how to craft a narrative that works in your favor. Understand when to reveal, when to conceal, and when to manipulate the truth to make your goals a reality. The world is full of lies, but the ones who control them are the ones who thrive. Next, we'll talk about something even more crucial: strength. Because without strength, your deception won't mean a damn thing. It's time to learn how to be not just smart, but powerful. And once you've mastered that, you'll understand how to truly dominate the game. You've now learned that deception is a powerful tool, a weapon to shape perception and control your narrative. But there's one thing that holds everything together: strength. Without it, all the reputation, deception, and manipulation in the world will crumble. And let me tell you something. Niceness is not strength. For years, you've been told that being nice, agreeable, and pleasant is the right way to live. You've been told that niceness will earn you respect, loyalty, and trust. But here's the truth. Niceness is just weakness in disguise. It's the mask that hides your insecurity, your fear, and your desperation for approval. The nice guy doesn't win. The nice guy gets walked on, used, and discarded. You've been conditioned to believe that niceness is virtuous. But in the world of power, it's just a liability. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He didn't advise rulers to be nice. He advised them to be feared, not loved. Why? Because fear keeps people in line. Fear keeps your enemies at bay, and it ensures that those around you understand the consequences of crossing you. The moment you try to please everyone, the moment you become nice, you lose the very thing that allows you to succeed: strength. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone respected a weak person? When was the last time a nice guy was followed, trusted, or listened to? People might tolerate niceness, but they don't follow it. They follow strength. Strength commands respect. Strength demands attention. Strength creates fear, and fear-controlled fear keeps people loyal, because they know that if they cross you, there will be consequences. The nice guy doesn't have that kind of power. Think about the most powerful figures in history, whether it's military leaders, business tycoons, or political giants. They weren't nice. They weren't concerned with pleasing everyone. They were ruthless when necessary, firm in their decisions, and unwavering in their power. Take someone like Napoleon Bonaparte, who ruled with absolute authority, or even modern-day CEOs who make ruthless business decisions to stay at the top. Do you think they became successful by trying to please everyone? No, they understood that to maintain power, you need to exude strength. Now, let's apply this to your life. If you're too nice, too agreeable, too focused on being liked, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. You're letting others dictate your value. You're sacrificing your power for approval, and that's a dangerous game. If you're always trying to make people feel comfortable, you're never going to be seen as someone they fear or respect. People won't hesitate to use you, take advantage of you, and discard you when it suits them. Because niceness without strength is just an invitation for others to walk all over you. So, here's your lesson. Stop trying to be liked. Start demanding respect. Be firm, be unyielding, and stand by your principles, even if it makes you uncomfortable. The strongest people in the world don't worry about being liked. They worry about being respected. They don't fear rejection. They fear weakness. And once you make that shift in your mindset, once you stop caring about niceness and start valuing strength, you'll see the world change. You'll see people begin to treat you differently. And when they do, you'll know it's because you've built yourself into someone who can't be ignored. Next, we'll explore the next brutal truth: loyalty. It's not what you think. In fact, loyalty itself is one of the most dangerous illusions in this game. You won't want to miss it. You've learned by now that strength is not just about being tough. It's about demanding respect, commanding fear, and ensuring that your reputation precedes you. But there's one final lesson that holds everything together, and this one is more critical than any of the others. The truth is, war is inevitable. You can't avoid it. You can delay it, but only at the expense of others. Most people believe that peace is the natural state, that things will remain calm if you just keep your head down and play nice. They're wrong. War, whether it's personal, professional, or even psychological, is always simmering beneath the surface. It's only a matter of time before it erupts. And the real question is, are you ready for it? Life isn't a series of smooth sailing days where everyone gets along. It's a battlefield. And you've been trained to ignore that reality, to believe that peace is normal. But the strong understand that conflict is always lurking. In every relationship, in every business deal, in every political maneuver, someone is waiting for you to falter. Someone is always looking to take your place, to gain an edge, to exploit your weaknesses. Machiavelli saw this clearly. He didn't believe in avoiding war. He believed in preparing for it. Whether it's a war of words, a legal battle, or a hostile takeover in business, you cannot afford to be caught off guard. You must always be ready. The best generals don't wait until the battlefield is in front of them. They prepare long before the enemy moves. The best businessmen don't wait for the competition to rise. They outmaneuver them before they even know what's happening. But here's where most people fail. They don't understand that you must train for war during times of peace. It's during the quiet moments that you build your strength, your reputation, and your alliances. You don't wait until you're in danger to get stronger. You don't wait for the crisis to hit before you prepare yourself mentally, physically, and strategically. If you're only training when the storm hits, you're already behind. You've already lost the battle before it even begins. Think about it. Successful companies don't wait until the economy falters to prepare. They stockpile resources, build their influence, and eliminate threats when things are calm. Nations don't wait for war to break out before they build their military and form alliances. They prepare long before a single shot is fired. And it's the same in your life. If you're not building your strength, your physical, mental, and strategic strength every single day, you're vulnerable. If you're not cultivating relationships that serve your goals, creating opportunities before you need them, and positioning yourself to be in control when the conflict comes, you're already losing. The war is already being fought, and you're too late to the game. This is why you must always stay sharp. Whether it's in business, personal relationships, or power dynamics, never stop preparing for war. Stay ahead of your rivals, anticipate their moves, and strike before they do. This doesn't mean being paranoid or aggressive all the time. It means being ready. Ready to defend yourself, to counterattack, and to seize control when the time is right. The key is to understand that war isn't something that happens once in a while. It's always happening. There's always someone testing your boundaries, looking for weakness, trying to take your place. The question isn't if you'll face war. The question is when and whether you'll be ready. So, here's your lesson. Don't wait for the fight to come to you. Prepare for it now. Train when no one is watching. Build your defenses before the attack. And when the war arrives, you'll be ready to take control and crush your opponents. Next, we'll explore the role of deception in warfare. Because even with all the preparation in the world, you still need to know how to outsmart your enemies when the battle begins. The true art of war is more than just strength. It's about knowing when and how to deceive, and how to bend the rules to ensure your victory. By now, you've learned the essentials of survival in this game, the importance of reputation, the necessity of deception, and how to build strength while preparing for inevitable war. But there's one final lesson that ties it all together. One principle that governs everything. The true law of power. Power is not about being right. It's not about being good or virtuous. It's not even about working harder than the next person. Power is about balance specifically. The balance between fear and reward. Think about the world around you. Power dynamics are everywhere. In your relationships, in business, in politics, and even in your daily interactions. The powerful aren't the ones who are purely benevolent or purely cruel. They are the ones who know how to balance both. They know when to reward and when to punish, when to give and when to take, when to show affection and when to withhold it. This is the law that most people never see, and it's the one that makes the truly powerful untouchable. Machiavelli understood that the best rulers and the best manipulators Don't lean too far in one direction. Too much reward leads to entitlement. People start expecting things from you and demanding more without giving anything in return. Too much fear leads to rebellion. People start resenting you, plotting behind your back, and eventually overthrowing you. But when you strike the perfect balance, when you know exactly how much to give, when to take it away, and how to control the push and pull of desire, you own the room. You own the game. Let's break this down. Think about a business leader. They don't keep employees motivated by giving them everything they want. They give them enough to keep them hungry for more. They dangle the carrot of a promotion, of recognition, of rewards, but they also withhold it to create that hunger, that drive. If they give too much, employees will stop working hard for it. If they give too little, they'll spark resentment. The true master of power knows how to keep people in that sweet spot where they want more, but never know exactly when or how much they'll get. Now, apply this to your personal life. Think about relationships, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a colleague. Too much love, too much attention, and too much validation leads to complacency. People start taking you for granted. But when you mix love with a little distance, with withholding affection or approval, suddenly people start to crave your attention. They start to wonder what they're doing wrong and how they can earn your favor. It's not about manipulation for the sake of cruelty. It's about understanding human nature and using it to create loyalty, respect, and control. This is where most people fail. They either try to be loved, to be the good person who gives endlessly, or they try to rule through fear, demanding compliance through threats and intimidation. Both approaches are flawed. The truth is, people respond to both fear and reward, but the most powerful people know how to balance the two. They make people need them without ever letting them get too comfortable. This is the true law of power. The balance of fear and reward is what allows you to control others. When you wield it wisely, you can bend the world to your will. It is the force that keeps you untouchable, that ensures your position at the top, and that guarantees your survival in this world where everyone is fighting for dominance. So now, the choice is yours. Will you continue to live in the world of illusions, pretending that good things come to good people and that fairness exists? Or will you step into the reality of power, where fear and reward dictate everything? Will you master the true law of power and wield it as a weapon, or remain a pawn in someone else's game? The decision is in your hands. But remember, once you start down this path, there's no turning back. You will never see the world the same way again. And when you realize the true nature of power, you'll understand that the game is always on, and you're either playing it or being played. If you're ready to stop playing by the rules and start playing the game, it's time to take control. Subscribe now and learn how to master the deeper strategies of influence, survival, and domination. The next step is just around the corner, and you don't want to miss it. The power to shape the world is in your hands. Will you claim it?